Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generation Latino podcast. I am Paul, and I am your host. You are listening to season 3, episode 2. So, thank you all for tuning in. First off, I want to thank Rosa. When I asked her to be on, she was like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, girl, you're going to be fine. So, I really hope you enjoyed that episode, and I hope it inspired you, whether you're thinking about going back to school. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that episode. But I also wanted to share with you guys that I am now on social media. You can find me on Instagram at Generation Latino Podcast, and you can find me on TikTok at Generation Latino Podcast. I was opposed to having social media. I am just not one who is really big on social media, but I was talking to one of my mentors and she was like, you need to do social media. And I'm still kind of getting used to what to post, what not to post, and whatnot. So, yeah, find me on there. So, we're about a little over a month into the new year, and a new year doesn't require a new version of you, right? I know everybody wants to set the goals and everybody wants to set these unrealistic goals, but all it requires is an honest goal. In this episode, we're slowing down the noise around New Year's resolutions and focusing on intentional, aligned goal setting for 2026. This conversation is about clarity over comparison, purpose over pressure, and progress over perfection. Whether you're entering 2026 feeling hopeful, exhausted, or somewhere in between, this episode will help you set goals that honor who you are, where you've been, and where you're truly trying to go. And I say this, guys, because I think a lot of people are putting pressure on themselves. And I'll admit, I'm putting pressure on myself in 2026, but I have to talk to myself and kind of get myself down and tell myself, hey, Paul, settle down. So today's episode is stepping into 2026, setting goals that actually align with your life. Hope you enjoy. All right. So before we talk about 2026, we have to acknowledge 2025. So for me, a lot happened in 2025. Like I've said before, I lost a very good friend of mine. My niece was in the hospital with pneumonia. We almost lost her. I started this podcast. I finished grad school. I mean, a lot happened. And I'm going to ask you, what drained you last year? And what drained me last year in 2025 was life. Life was happening faster than I could handle it. And it was something that I had never experienced all at once. Usually I experience something one at a time, like this happens and then this happens. But in 2025, I don't know for you, but for me, like everything was just kind of thrown into a blender and just on go. And it was something for me that I was really trying to get a grip of. I was really trying to get a grip of, like, what life was throwing at me, you know? I mean, if I could sum up 2025 in one word, it would be unpredictable. It was extremely unpredictable for me, and it drained me in that way, and I questioned my relationship with God. I was praying a lot, hoping that my niece would get better, and everything went good. And I wanna ask you as well, what energized you in 2025? So for me, what energized me in 2025 was this podcast, I'm not gonna lie, that really helped energize me, and it helped give me purpose. Even when things were going rough, committing myself to this podcast really helped me in ways that I never thought that it would. Whether it was having a rough day at work, visiting my niece in the hospital, coming back from a rosary, or whatever it was, this podcast energized me because it gave me a platform to talk and to connect with people. So that energized me. The gym energized me. And so, yeah, I want to know what energized you. And a big one that I really want to talk about is, what did you outgrow in 2025? And the reason we're talking about 2025 is because I think we have to acknowledge it. That's why I'm bringing it up. We're going to get to 2026 and our goals and all that, but I really want to talk about 2025. And I know we're already in February, but it's still early enough to change stuff. That's why I'm talking about 2025. So, what did I outgrow? I think I outgrew people that were no longer adding value to my life, right? And I had a quote in 2025 that was like, I'm not entertaining that. I didn't entertain people or things that didn't have value to me or that didn't add anything into my life. What did you outgrow? Did you outgrow a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a toxic boss, right? Sometimes we can outgrow people in a professional setting. So, yeah, what did you outgrow? And also too, where did you show up stronger than you realized? Ask yourself that. For me, I showed up stronger for myself. I showed up for myself in a way that I may have been exhausted, I may have been tired, but I showed up for my goals that I set for myself, right? I set very concrete goals for myself and I showed up stronger than I had realized. So, yeah, what about you? Was it the gym? Was it school? Was it setting a boundary that you didn't know you could? So many of us carry unfinished emotions into a new year: burnout, disappointment, grief, or even guilt for not doing enough. But reflection isn't about judgment, it's about information. And that's why I'm like, before we talk about 2026, we have to talk about 2025. And that's why I kind of wanted to brush on 2025. So I do this all the time, guys. I write down the things that I was proud of, that I need to work on in the next coming year. So I usually use those last 2 weeks of the year to really reflect. So just know that your experiences from last year are data. Use it. Use it. So let's talk about the goals we set for other people. The ones that sound impressive, the ones rooted in comparison, the ones driven by hustle, culture, family expectations, or social media timelines. 2026 does not need performative success. Okay. You do not need to be comparing yourself to the other girl at the gym, the other podcaster, or the other person next to you at the office. You don't have to do that, right? Ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or do I feel like I should want this? If a goal requires you to abandon your mental health, your values, or your identity, it's not alignment, it's survival. So a lot of the times we set these goals for ourselves, and I'm kind of guilty of this as well. I'm someone who loves going to the gym, and I know sometimes like we'll be doing sprints or we'll be doing these WODs, which are workout of the days, and I'm like comparing myself. I'm like, Paul, stop doing that. I love being at the gym, but I'm my own competition. So sometimes I have to like reel it back in and say, hey, settle your ass down, Paul. Settle down. So just think about it. When you're setting your goals, actually make sure that there's something that you want to do. Make sure it's something you want to do. You know how many people I meet that are like, oh, I'm doing nursing because my family told me to, or I'm gonna go into teaching, or I'm gonna do whatever it is because someone told them to do it. Like, no, if you don't want to do it, don't fucking do it. If you don't want to date a guy or whatever it is, don't date him or her, whoever it is. Don't do it. Let go of performative goals because that's what it is. That's what it is. Remember that. So instead of overwhelming yourself, focus on three core areas. Okay. So for me, what I'm doing is life goals. These support your well being and peace. And some of my examples are creating a healthier relationships, setting boundaries with work or family, and prioritizing joy without guilt. The toughest one for me is guilt. I feel very guilty if I don't do something or if I say something wrong sometimes or if I didn't go somewhere. But if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it and neither should you. A big one too is, again, and I've talked about this in previous episodes, is setting boundaries with work and or family. For me, I don't really have to set boundaries with my family because they're very respectful of me. But for work, you best believe that I am setting a fucking boundary. I am not gonna work 14 hours and skip the gym. No, I'm not gonna do that, or I'm not gonna let myself go because I am drenched in work, or I'm on a deadline and I'm at work all day. No, something has to give. Either you flex or you have a conversation with your supervisor. You should not be working yourself to death. There's a song from The Verb called, Bittersweet Symphony, and there's a lyric in there that goes, "We're a slave to the dollar." Like, it's true. Like, I don't wanna be a slave to the dollar. I don't. And a good one too is creating healthy relationships, guys. Like, one thing about me is, like, I don't do toxicity. I do not do toxic friendships, relationships, which is why I am single. I don't want anything that makes me feel unhealthy, uneasy, and neither should you, honestly. It is not worth it. You should be in healthy relationships, whether it's a healthy relationship with your parent, your friend, a sibling, whoever it is, it needs to be healthy. So the next one is growth goals. And these stretch you but don't break you. And these are some examples, right? So there's learning a new skill, investing in therapy or coaching, saying yes to opportunities that scare you just a little bit, right? And I'm going to go through each one. So for me, learning a new skill. Well, I'm going to be starting school this year. I will be starting law school in the fall of 2026. So that's going to be a new skill for me. It's not gonna break me, but I know it's something that's gonna require a lot of skill set, and it's gonna require, dedication, and it's gonna require, you know, a lot of boundary setting for me, so I'm excited for that. Investing in therapy or coaching, like, guys, whether it's a self-help book, whether it is a therapist, a life coach, it's gonna stretch you, right? It's going to challenge you, but it's not gonna break you. Having a therapist is not going to break you. Or even going to the gym. It might make you sore or it might make you feel uncomfortable, but it's not going to break you. And another thing, saying yes to opportunities that scare you. This is a big one. I think a lot of people are afraid of success. And as it comes their way, they kind of shy away from it. Last month, I was on a radio show, and I have never done live radio before. Although I do this podcast, I get to edit it and produce it, and I'm in control of everything that goes out there as far as my podcast. So I was invited by April, one of my guests on season 2, to go on her radio show, and I was nervous. I was so nervous because I had never done live radio, and I've done live theater, but that's scripted shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got my lines down, but I had never done live radio. I was nervous. I was extremely nervous, but it was an opportunity that scared me. But I dove into it and I took it. And you just have to do that, guys. You just really have to take opportunities that scare you just a little bit. Last one. Impact goals. These connect you to something bigger than yourself. Examples could be giving back to your community, mentoring someone, creating work that reflects your values. You don't need 20 goals. You need clarity. And for me, even this podcast, right? It's something that I feel like gives back to people, and I love connecting. I love people reaching out to me, letting me know stories that connected with them or guests that connected with them. This is an impact goal of mine, right? So whatever yours is, just stick to it. It doesn't have to be a lot, guys. It's just something small. All right, so make your goals sustainable. This is a big one because everyone sets this huge ass goal and then it just looks like it's impossible to reach. A goal that depends on motivation will fail. A goal that is built into your life will last. Remember, we had a whole episode on motivation, but you need to build goals that are built into your life. And ask yourself, What support do I need? What habits make it easier? What needs to be removed for this to work? For me, sometimes I take my gym bag to work because I know if my ass comes back home to pack my bag, I'm going to stay home, right? Or making your lunch the day before. Do I want to eat fast food or do I want to eat a healthier diet? When it comes to studying or whatever it is, make sure that your goals are sustainable. Make sure that you are able to maintain the goals. So sometimes, and I'm all for a goal that is like a million miles away, but just realize that it may take some time to get there. It may take some time to actually get there. And even for me, I have my own goals, whether it's school, whether it's this podcast, whether it's work and career. And sometimes I tell myself, Paul, slow down. You don't have to get that goal right away. So, a gentle reminder for 2026. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to change a goal. And I'll give you an example for me. And this one hurt me. I was wanting to train for the half marathon. It was a goal of mine. I had it written down, but I just didn't get to it. I didn't train in enough time. And I've run half marathons before, and I know what it takes to run one, but I didn't get it done. And I was so pissed at myself. Like, I was mad because I was like, Paul, like, you could have done it, but I didn't. I knew about 2 months into the run that I was like, "No, I can't do it." So I changed my mind. I was not gonna do it because I was not gonna push my body, go through all that stress for a goal. So, like I said, you are allowed to change your mind. You are also allowed to rest. And this one's big for me because I love going a million miles an hour. And I've been very intentional with giving myself time to not just rest, but reflect, right? Very big on that right now. I'm like, okay, Paul, relax, chill, and rest. And I've been a lot better at that. If my body's telling me something, I'm going to listen to it. And guys, the biggest one is that you are allowed to move at your own pace. I tell people, like, if you're a sloth, be a sloth. If you're a fucking tiger or a cheetah, be a cheetah or a tiger. If you're a panda, be a fucking panda. But don't try to form yourself into something that you're not because it's not going to work. I am telling you right now, if you are someone who operates at a certain way, figure out how to do that in the best way for you. But if you're not someone who moves at a million miles an hour, who does all these things, then that's not you. You're allowed to move at your own pace. So these goals, guys, that you're setting for 2026, right? We still have enough time to set up a whole new realm of goals. We do. We still have 11 months to set whatever goals we want. Say right now, where you're listening to this podcast, we're in the first week of February, and you have not accomplished any of your goals or even worked to them, switch it up. You're allowed to change your mind. 2026 doesn't need your perfection. It needs your honesty. It needs your hard work. It needs your dedication. And as you step into this new year, I hope you choose goals that feel like home, not punishment. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's entering 2026 with a full heart and a tired soul. And guys, please remember to not be so hard on yourself. I'm telling you, it is not worth it. Okay? Also, if you like this podcast, please like it on Spotify, like it on Apple Podcast, Amazon. Follow me on Spotify. A lot of my listeners, I have a ton of listeners that don't follow my podcast. So if you're on my podcast listening to it, please follow it, give it a thumbs up or rate it. It would mean a lot to me. But a lot of you who listen don't follow me. Y'all just kind of listen, which is fine. I appreciate it, but please follow the podcast and follow us on social media, okay? Like follow us on social media. You'll see videos of me and videos of the work that I'm doing here. So once again, guys, thank you so much. And remember, 2026 is yours to have. All right, guys, I love you all so very much, and I will see you on the next episode. Valentine's Day is next week. Love you guys. Bye.